Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News. I know I started 5 minutes early. Welcome to Tennessee. I'm in Nashville. I'm outside today, and the bird feeders. I get close to the birds and they take off. So, let me tell you about the bird feeders. Um, they got two great big ones, and they have lots of birds. And Tennessee, where they're at, is full of birds. And I've been looking at all the little birds that are coming up and big birds, and I'm sitting there and I see this really big, huge big bird. First, I thought it was a cat going after the birds, and then I look up and it's a big bird, so I'm thinking a falcon or a hawk or something. Lo and behold, it's a turkey in their backyard. And I was said, I looked at my sister and I said, Martha, get the gun. We got dinner. And everybody's rolling and laughing about that one. Um, Boy, it's been a trip, and I had the thing with Greyhound. I got that's okay. I'm still having a good time. It's been trying, and so my brother had it set up for a car to come get him. Hey, Karen, does it look pretty? The back of me. I can't get close to the bird feeder because they keep flying off if I get any closer. So I'm going to work with them tomorrow. Um, So my brother has a car that's going to come get him, and this whole thing with service people is just driving me batty. And he sets it up for 4 a.m. so he can catch a 6 o'clock flight. And he's waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's at that time. It's 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, and he calls. And Karen, can you hear me? Okay. And anyway, so they had it set for 4 p.m. Whoever took the times and filled out the stuff on it, put 4 p.m. instead of 4 a.m. So, but he didn't make his flight. But I did hear that my sister-in-law was like a NASCAR racer all the way to the gate. Yeah, so they made it and they got on good to go. Well, I went to come on yesterday, and poof, our power went here. Now, we have this fridge here, and I'm not real good with the new. I like I like the fridges. You got your little ice maker, and then you just open the fridge, and everything's there. Um, well, this thing's got like 50 buttons, and I don't know how to put it back on. It says the fridge is 88 degrees. And so, of course, I had to call my brother and say, your fridge is out. The power went out. And so we got the fridge, going. It took a couple hours. And then, after we get that all going and everybody that helps is gone, I start to do dinner. Come to find out, the stove has got the same kind of thing. And I was like, oh, no, now I have to figure out how to get the stove to work again. Well, we figured that out. It took a little bit. Boy, finding out, those flat top ranges, Karen, do you got one of those? I have the one you just turn the knob and it comes on. These are flat and it's got, this is so, Karen, you're going to love this before I get to the news, because I think you guys are all going to love me and trying to figure out all these new things. And I'm from California. I should know this stuff. We're looking at how to start the burner, and it's got on, off, all the way across. And so I push it and I wait and it doesn't come on. So I push it and nothing. And I push above it, push below it, push beside it, push, maybe double push. Nothing. So, of course, I call my sister Beth and help Beth. And Beth goes, when I was out there, I never could figure out the stove, so I microwaved everything. I was like, well, I planned on cooking chicken. It's all thawed. I'm not going to cook chicken in the microwave. And she says, well, did you try this, that? And we sent her pictures. Hey, Mary. And so she says, have you tried holding it down? I hold it down and it started. I was like, hooray, chicken. So, oh boy. So we think everything's really good. Um, and then I turn the TV on and the TV don't work. So of course I said, oh, okay, you just push power. Well, it's a dish and 3, 4 other controllers. Hi, William, you are doing trivia on Friday all by yourself. Because we can't get this stuff to work. I'm still trying to figure out how to get everything back. The AC is really not working, but the TV, there's 3 or 4 controllers, and all I'm getting is a screen that says, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to watch TV." Well, it says, "Hi, Joe. Push any button." Well, I'm not Joe, but I guess I can be Joe. And folks, this is, thank goodness I got a great sense of humor, because I think anybody else would have been pulling their hair out. I think my granddaughter is. Um, so I turned on, it says, "Hey, Joe, push any button." And I'm like, okay. I push a button and it goes to the screen. What do you want to do? Okay, I want to watch TV. So I hit that other button again. It says, "Hey, Joe, push any button." Okay, what if I just shut it off and turn it back on again? That was last night at like 8 o'clock. I still can't get the TV to work. So no TV. Well, it's okay. We all got cell phones, and my daughter's got the laptop, and my sister's got hers, so they're good to go. Yes, you have you got good, good. I we just have got to figure the whole phone things out to get her phone close to your phone, or my phone, her phone close to my phone, so we can get the sound. And we weren't getting anything earlier. So, and then, I've been trying to fix everything today. And like I said, the AC really isn't working. Um, we did lose power again, so I had to go through and reset everything. And Elly's what? Yes, I am in Tennessee, Nashville. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, at my brother's house. And you can see the woods behind me. It's a beautiful backyard. I'm going to try to move further out tomorrow night. And I should be home Friday night, which I'll be on my computer with William, and William gets to do the trivia. Yeah, I think by the time I get home, I don't want to touch anything that is smart. All this smart stuff. And and the repairmen don't help. They just say, "Well, send me a picture. We'll try this, try that, try this." And I'm like, "Well, I could have done that. I hope they're not going to charge me for this." Oh boy. But it is Memorial Day. And I do want to say that I had the most wonderful opportunity to go to DC. And every Memorial Day, I think of this, because it was just, I don't know if it was to bring a tear to your eye or what, but I went to the wall, and the wall that has all the names of all the soldiers on it. And it goes from about that high to, I mean, feet, many, many feet. And the day I was there, I mean, it's very reflective, and it had these big, beautiful clouds that were just slowly moving across this wall. And you could look down, you could see people kind of leaning up against the wall. There was flowers, there was crosses, there was dog tags. Nobody really was making any noises. And as I walked up and started looking at people leaning on the wall, what they were doing is they had pieces of paper, and they had a pencil, and they were, when you scratch on there to get the names of their loved ones. And there was some of them that after they did it, they would lean their head against the wall and they would cry. I can't say it's the most beautiful thing I've seen, but I'm glad I had the opportunity. And it really makes you, think that Memorial Day, all these men that have fought for us and for our country, for our flag. And remember all of the war fallen and the families. Yes. And I have to say, every Memorial Day, and that was the first thing, when I grabbed the news this morning and they said, Happy Memorial Day, that was the first thing that came to my mind. And how beautiful it was how beautiful that wall was with the clouds behind it. I think I might have pictures. I'm just not sure where they're at. One of these days I'll go looking through and see if I can let you guys see it. But how sombering it was, and how touching. And one lady was putting dog tags out there, and she was kissing them and saying, "Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much." So, so happy Memorial Day, and we our prayers to the families, even as we lose some today in wars around the world. So, all right, folks. We had this Biden MacArthur deal. Now, what amazed me about this deal was, well, two things. One, that the GOP caved. I didn't think McCarthy should have given an inch. He should have stuck with it and not raised the debt ceiling. I think to prove that we're strong and we're tough and we're not going to put up with them no more. No more. But then, we are used to thousands of pages being sprung on the GOP of, just hours beforehand with bunches added onto it. It was only less than 200 pages this time. The other thing that I thought was odd is this is the same bill that the GOP put through the House that passed the House, but the Senate denied it. The same exact thing. There might be a few added or subtracted. And so why not just send it to the Senate? So, and then, okay, so there is a reduction in spending. I think it's going to be $4 trillion. Now, they are going to roll the defense budget back to the 2022 levels, and they're going to spend more on the military, which I was glad to hear. But I don't want to give it to Ukraine. Let's quit sending money to Ukraine. The other thing was food stamps. Food stamps and welfare. They're going to cut them back to get people to go back to work. Now, this will make Biden look better with an employment rate, but we need people to get back to work. But is there going to be enough work for anybody to go back with all the businesses shutting down? And I did put that question on a chat room, and the person didn't have the answer to it. I'm saying no. San Francisco has lost 90% of their business district. So the people in San Francisco, all them hundreds of jobs, it's not going to be there. So that's how I look at it. And even in areas where they had the riots, or even New York, it's the same way. Oh, you went to Nashville last year? Yeah, we're pretty close. It's about a 6.5 hour ride from my place to my brother's. And so the one thing, and then the veterans are exempt on on the food stamps and the welfare, and they're not going to cut anything on the veteran, and they never should. We never should cut anything off our veterans. In fact, we should be adding, because you guys always no, it's not for that. It's for people that are capable of working, that are on food stamps. Because there's what they did is they increased it, and they put it so more people could be on welfare and more people could be on food stamps, which qualified many more people. Now they're going to cut it back for them, okay, and to where those people are going to have to go back to work. They're just not going to get the full amount that they're being chummy with. And a lot of this is um, the college students and that just, or those that just don't want to work, that just don't want to work. Um, Now I want to tell you something about my friend Ed. I know you guys have seen him come in, and he's a veteran, and he barely makes it. He gets, because it's only him. He gets very little food stamps. I don't think he even qualifies for welfare. And what the Veterans Administration gives him is barely enough for him to get rent and utilities. And sometimes he has to even go to food banks. And I don't know if his increased, but that's why I said we should never, ever cut our veterans off. Never. We shouldn't. And that's my concern. And so, now the only other thing that made me really happy was the Democrats are outraged by this bill, or this deal. If they're mad, then I'm happy. Yeah, I'm a happy sappy here. All right, so the Supreme Court um, is basically sided with the home equity scams. Okay, and what it is there has been a lot of home equity scams out there. And what the Supreme Court ruled on was that people are going to be punished for this. And when it ran a little bit further, because I went and looked at it, the question was, is this for businesses or private people that does it? And they said it goes for that and then that, and it even includes the government. If the government starts scamming people on their home equity loans, they're going to be punished also. Good for the Supreme Court, right there. Um, uh, William says he's like Ed. Yeah, there's a lot of veterans and a lot of, I'm going to say, police officers, firefighters, all of them. We just don't take care of our service people. That's why I said the show is almost a lot about service. And it's sad that the services are getting worse and worse. Like the way I got treated with Greyhound, my brother, them messing up his ride. Um, it's the services are crazy. Um, Now the Republicans are going to go against, and they're going to try to put forth a bill that is going to do away to slow down the digital currency. Now, when I seen that, I called my economics guy and I said, "So what's going on with this?" And he says, "Well, when they wanted to just start printing and printing and printing, the Republicans want to take it back to Trump, where we were doing the gold-backed dollar again, and this is what they want to do. And now that they have control of Congress." And now that we've got I think 5 senators now of for the Democrats that are basically going to be leaving office. We got to get the Republicans in there. And so what I did was I asked him, so what are we looking at? And he said that now a lot of places you can take your cash in and get gold. And he said, and what they're doing is they're bringing back the gold, and they're getting more companies to mine the gold, to bring the gold back in to back up our dollar. So you could see where the Republicans are wanting not to just print the money and play Monopoly. They want to do what like Trump did. And so I'm not saying that this was Trump's idea. This has always been. We've always had the dollar backed by gold. We've always done this, and we've always been the strongest with our dollar. And now the other thing he said, and he says it's a rumor, but he's getting a word from Washington. They might even consider not just gold, but silver, to have it backed by gold and silver to make it stronger quicker. I think this is I think it's really great. The other thing that makes me happy is the House, and it looks like Senate is going to pass that Biden's not getting his student bailout loan. And that's good. It looks like it's going to go through, so he's not going to get the money to do the bailout. Um, to me, I don't want my taxes raised. I don't want to pay for kids. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. And what did William say? I have to look close. Um, yeah. Um, so, okay, this one here, I heard about this lady, and she's well known, and she says her 5 or 7 year old girl wants to be a boy, and um, kids should be able to make this choice. These 5 and 7 year olds, and I just can't imagine. I got a 5 year old granddaughter, and I listen to her sing. I don't want to ask her that question. And I see her long hair and her wanting to be pretty. And then she said, well, she asked her sissy if she could do something. She's, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so should we let these kids make their own laws? What about if kids, let's say a 7 year old kid decides, hey, I want to smoke a cigarette. Or what if I want to go drink a beer? Hey, I want to drive dad's car. Or, and if we go against them on doing whatever these kids seem to want to do now, we're phobious. So are we going to become smokeophobia and beerophobia and driveophobia? And what if they want to just eat junk food all the time? See, this is just going way too far, because they're talking that if a 5 year old on up wants to do something, we should, if they, with the school and the school agrees, they should be allowed to do it. And I think they're just pushing this way too far. And I got this idea from one of our own representatives in the state, because they said the same thing. If they want to smoke, are we going to let them smoke at 10 years old? And if we don't, then and they they push it, and it's going to be okay, and the teachers can hide it from us. Are we going to let them drink a beer? Hey, if they want to eat junk food only, how far is too far? And I think this is just the start. I really do. Karen, you know what I'm saying? You got a little baby coming up. I mean, if 5, or let's say 8 years old says, hey, grandma, I want a beer, and if you don't let me have it, my teacher will. Is it going to go that far? How far is these Democrats willing to take this country to control our kids? I always think of that. I think is it Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin with teachers leave those kids alone. And I'm starting to really feel that way. I mean, we do know when the Democrats came into office, they said we were a socialist country. This is a socialist country. And they presented it as what socialism is to all the college students. It's social programs like welfare and food stamps and college tuition. They didn't tell them what socialism really is, and they're not teaching them. They're really not teaching them. Oh boy, Tina Turner died. I mean, I heard this a couple days ago, but I wasn't able to mention much. How sad. She goes rolling on the river. Wow. And she was 83 years old, folks. Now, and then I thought about that, and then right underneath her it says Kissinger's 100. Wow, Kissinger's 100 years old. Okay, yeah. All right, so Target stores. This one really blew me away. So the LGBTQ, I don't have it written down. The LGBTQ, whatever, they can get mad at me for mispronouncing it. Um, they have had Target with um, promoting their clothes for a long time, um, quite a few years. Recently, they brought in satanic clothing, and also shirts promoting communism and Marxism. Well, the Christians didn't like it, and so they started doing this boycott. And okay, I mean, there's a way to settle this, but what had happened is, and I thought maybe just one or two stores this was happening, and I had to go research a lot of it, and come to find out, um, the LGBTQT, I think I got it right, decided to start threatening every single Target with a bomb. Wow, over clothing. Oh my goodness. You see, my sister Beth says, this world is just so horrible. Well, only if we let them be. Only if we let them go through and be like this. Now, so Target, the only reason why they threatened it because they were going to take only 50% of the stuff off. And they were going to leave the Pride. They were just going to take 50% of the communism, Marxism, and Satanist clothing off the shelf. What's wrong with that? And they want to go around and bomb stores. Why don't they go just love each other and do their thing? Don't go threatening and bombing places. Oh my goodness. Good grief. Good grief. That's my favorite word. Um, and over this Memorial Weekend, I believe it is, hundreds have went to Mount Sinai for prayers for the country and for Israel with this war they have going on. And they're saying it's a new Sinai. I don't know if William's heard about it, but it's a very beautiful story with, I think it's Israel News. And, when I get back, I'll try to get you guys a link to it and put it on the Facebook page, or I'll try to put the link with you guys. And I thought this was very beautiful, to go to Mount Sinai. And they said they found the new one, but I think it's the same one. I'll look into it a little bit more. Maybe William can too. And I can't. I've got maybe one more thing, and that's Senator Graham suggests that Israel go ahead and start a war with Iran to do away with the missiles, and that would be their part of the Middle East. Now, what I was hearing him say is, we're not going to go help. They just want Israel to go after Iran. And I'm not gonna say when, because when Biden came in office, there was a lack of support for Israel. But when I heard Senator Graham say this, yeah, it just made him sound very stupid. I looked at it and I said, what a stupid man. I mean, we're going to go support Ukraine, but we're not going to help Israel when we have over in Syria, we have Israel kind of even helping to protect Syria in a way, and other countries and other allies. And Iran has attacked Syria or U.S. bases over 80 times now. You know how many times we've fired back? Three. That just tells you everything around Israel, we just don't support anymore. And, I watch Israel 7 and another guy that I watch. And, I keep hearing that Israel's standing their own. They're really, really standing their own. Now, what Karen say? Let me see. He's, and this, and we had, what was it? Senator Johnson. You talk about Graham being stupid. I don't know if a lot of you, and some of you might be some new viewers, but Senator Johnson said, was worried and was talking to a general that they had to move a lot of people to one side of the island. And he says, but General, if we move everybody on one side of the island, won't it flip over? And you're the look on that general's face. It was like he wanted to say, "Are you stupid? Where do we get these guys? Who votes these people in?" Well, I know we don't. So, um, anyway, folks, I am going to be back tomorrow, and it'd be probably another short show. I want to touch on a little bit. My sister has dementia, very trying. And so I know a lot of you out there might have, at my age, have older siblings or parents with dementia. And it's very hard. Um, it's a tough time, and we're making a lot of adjustments. That's why I'm here. And some transitions and new beginnings. Um, and it's a lot of new stuff. And it does, when you do new stuff, it tends to scare them badly. And so that's kind of why I've been kind of scarce, with the shows, because I didn't expect to have this kind of reaction from her. She's doing very well. She just at times has afraid moments. And that's why I said that, prayers for while we go through this transition with her and new beginnings. And she's just fearful. But it's been something. They have cats. Their cats are chasing me. They've been chasing them. They're playing with me, and they're running around and they're zooming around, and they're jumping all on the kitchen table and on the counters. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's only 3 of them. So it's been fun. So I called my brother and I said, your cats are chasing me and playing with me. I said, I didn't think they liked me. And he said, they're doing what? I said, they're chasing me and playing with me, and they want me to play with them. And he goes, they've never done that before. And I go, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but they sure like me. Even the dog. Uh, the dog it didn't like me, used to nip at me when I went by. Well, I've been feeding him scraps off the table when I eat, so now he's my buddy. So, and then so I got to kind of close out with this one. There has been a noise, because I like to sit outside at night because the house and the AC is really hot. So there's this noise. It's kind of like a motor noise, a grinding noise. I was like, what is that? And my sister didn't know. And of course, my brother's not here. And I'm like, it would go in intervals of 3, like a machine grinding noise, really loud, once, twice, 3 times, and it quit. And then a few minutes later, do it again and do it again. And so I was like, what the heck is this noise? What's this big machine? So I went around and looked around the pond, and I didn't see any machines, because that's where it sounds like it's coming from. Karen and Mary and Susan, you guys are just gonna laugh at this. And I'm like, there's got to be a machine. So I'm looking for hoses that go into the pond or some type of equipment. And I come back, and the following night does it again. I'm like, what the heck is this? And so my sister with dementia, she said, you sure that isn't a frog? I said, boy, that's a mighty loud frog. And she goes, yeah, that is kind of loud for a frog. So last night I was sitting here and I was like, well, let me run through a bullfrog. And what it is, they are giant bullfrogs, not just a regular old bullfrog. These are considered the gigantic bullfrogs that are about the size of maybe a small chihuahua. And so it's a bullfrog. And my sister says, wow. And I was, okay, so at the beginning of the show, I was telling you about the turkey. So I was like, hey, Peggy, you want to have frog legs? She looks at me and she says, what? I said, yeah, let's go catch him. let's go catch him and let's have some frog legs. I said, I heard it tastes like chicken. and she's looking at me, and after a while she kind of realizes I'm joking, and boy, she just laughed till she cried on that one. And then last night I'm sitting here, and okay, I probably freaked everybody out screaming. I probably woke the whole neighborhood up. Raccoon come up on the porch, and not only did it freak the dog out, but I'm I bet I looked real funny. I was trying to stand on chairs, and I was even climbing over the chairs, and I don't think I've moved that fast in years. Uh, so, uh, so it's been, the wildlife, even though I live in Arkansas, I should know this stuff. But some of it's been funny. Some of it, like my bus trip, just made me mad. The power outages to I can't figure out how to run these new smart appliances. I'm not getting none. I forget it. How about we just, not only that, they have coffee pots with Keurigs and regular pots. I just want a Mr. Coffee, and then they shut off after so long. And then you get cold coffee. Boy, the service. Karen, I hope you're enjoying I'm having there's been so many times, folks, I've been so angry here at things, but it's worked out. It's worked out. I said, no, I'm just going to let it go. Let me put put myself in a new direction. And I always say that I'm so blessed, and I am, because I've got such a good sense of humor that, even when it's tough, I can crack a joke and be okay again. And I laugh it off. So, your cousin is what is on there? Yeah. So, and you know what? Out of all the newfangled equipment and smart everything and the smart coffee pot, smart TV, smart dishwasher, smart toaster, refrigerator, stove, I went and hunt of a can opener. I'm like, where's the smart can opener? And my sister Peggy gets in the drawer and she hands me one that's the wind. I go, that's their can opener? She goes, yeah. And I was like, really? You sure there's not a better smart one? And she looked at me, she just started laughing. I go, I'm serious. They don't have they don't have electric can opener? She said, no, that's their can opener. I said, smart everything in here, and they don't have a can. I said, okay, we'll go with that. So, all right, folks, that's it for the show. I know I started a little bit early, and I'll get in here tomorrow, and I'm going to try to get closer to the bird feeders, or maybe get further out. I did have rain clouds over me, so I was kind of staying close to they have a beautiful gazebo next to me. Well, let me lift you guys up and I'll show you. So that's their gazebo that I've been sitting under. Oops, let me get you guys back here. And so it's very nice. It's cool out here, and I've enjoyed it. Every morning coming out and sitting under the gazebo, and my granddaughter been out here, and it's a lot cooler out here. So, like I said, I'll be back probably for another 30-minute show tomorrow. Share the show. This is I think this one was a pretty good one and pretty funny one, and a little bit. I'm not sneezing or coughing. No. Um, uh, they switched me on a lot of different stuff, and I'm not coughing or sneezing as much. Or definitely I don't have the sinus drainage that I normally have. So I'm not coughing. Boy. But I do want everybody to share. This is kind of a little bit of, lifestyle news, of the funny stuff with the serious news. And, we just, on this Memorial Day, remember our soldiers. And, I think the GOP is going to pull ahead, and I think we can be tougher. And I'm very disappointed in McCarthy. He never should have given in, because if we don't stand up to him, I don't care if he says, let's work with one another. If we don't stand up to them, they're just going to get away with everything they can. And I'm waiting to see if they squeeze something in this bill or this deal. So share the show and hit that like button, and prayers for my sister. And we will see you in Nashville tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, everybody's coming in, and we plan on taking my granddaughter to, I call it honky tonkin' in Nashville. She wants to go see the BB King and a few other things, get her some souvenirs. So we'll be there, and then we're going to stay the night, and then we're going to hit up Memphis, because there's a big sports center there. So hopefully I get my phone all charged up, and I want to hopefully take you guys into the sports center with me. And then I should be home late Thursday afternoon, and I will be ready Friday to come back. Boy, I miss everybody, and I miss the show, and I miss doing them. I've had long talks with William, and I'm ready to just get back in my chair, where I got to sit on the cushions. But as you see, I haven't really done much with my hair, and I just kind of throw everything on and come out here with you guys. So tomorrow we'll be outside again, and maybe show you a little bit more of how beautiful this is here. So you all take care, and we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to say real close the same time, about 6 p.m. Eastern time. So it'd be my regular time for the nightly show that we do at 5 or 6 Eastern time. And I did start a little bit early because we didn't know if I was going to connect or not. So we'll be here tomorrow, and then we'll be back again on Friday with regular stuff, lifestyle news, and weather. And then I'm going to let William have at it with the trivia. So William, you hang on to that. And then heck, me and William might just go ahead and do a World War III report or one of his reports. And then we'll be back on track on Monday. And I shouldn't have to come back out here to Tennessee for a couple months. So my brother's going to move. And so we're trying to get things going here on my sister. So, and it's been hard on her. And so they're out in California and visiting her family, my sister-in-law's family, and while I'm staying here with my sister. So they're going to be transitioning to a move, and my sister's not taking it well. So we're working through this. So, all right, folks, see you tomorrow. And you guys, God bless, and have a very wonderful Memorial Day.